All right, guys, we are getting into game number one, and really
Team
excited.
Gravity presents Fight Night.
Y'all ready for this?
All right, guys, here it is. Game number one in a best of seven for $80. Prize pool split between 60-20, winner and loser. Fear Dragon, who do we have as our first player?
Spawning up in the top side of the map, we have the red Zerg player. Representing Team Liquid, it is Liquid's TLO, the little one.
And
look at
very
that beautiful work from, look at that beautiful work from Cybert. He had an active video for that intro, not just a picture on that one.
Yeah, I always like that. I'm telling you guys, we have a crack production team, guys, working here. Whether it's organizing the events, as you can see in the chat, shout out to Techno Trans. He's one of the guys who have been a huge factor in getting us partnered up with Hitbox, and of course Curran as the observer. But the second player we do have here on the bottom of Vonnie Research Station, Blue Terran, guys, representing Team Liquid as well for a little old-fashioned family feud. We do have here Bunny.
All right, TVZ, and as you were saying, teammates and everything. It does kind of make you wonder, because I know there is something of a misnomer out there that teammates always mean that they always are practicing with each other all the time. And we know that that's not always the case. But, the little one, I've got to say, one of the players out there that is very, very dedicated with kind of practice and very into dedicated, consistent, intentional practice for very specific things. So, I could very well see him kind of reaching out to amazing players like his teammate Bunny and trying to get some of that kind of consistent practice against them.
Yeah, another misnomer too is that all teammates play alike if they're the same race, right?
Oh,
I mean, we did
yeah.
see Rhett
Not
earlier,
true.
or not Rhett, sorry. Well, yeah, we did see Rhett earlier. What I'm talking about, and
Yeah.
oh, well, does that mean he's gonna play like Rhett? I don't know about that. I mean, I think players at this level have just so much in their arsenal when it comes to builds that they can properly choose the optimized strategy for the map that they're on. This is Vonnie Research Station. Typically, it is a map that favors a lot of air harassment, whether it's drops, whether it's mutas. So let's see if that comes into play here in game number one.
Well, we'll end up seeing. We do have the first two Zergans moving out across the map. Kind of interesting that normally you don't see those Zergans kind of moving across the map right now when the Reaper is popping in. Bunny going to be able to try and get a bit of scouting information, but God, TLO has just been so on top. I don't think the Reaper has even seen whether there's been gas taken or not.
No, not at all. But these Lings aren't going to see all that much either. Well, I guess they do see the factory and reactor, but they can't get into the base. And with that, those Lings have to back off. Two Reapers now together, going to look to make some magic happen. But there's also these two Queens, and generally I'd say that the Queens have the upper hand.
So close again to pick off on those Reapers. But yeah, I mean, when you go for two Reapers, you want to do more than just kind of scout out your opponent. You want to try and get a little bit of damage done. Literally, these Reapers have accomplished almost nothing. I think that they killed... Have they killed anything? Did they kill a creep tumor? I mean, I see nothing in the units lost tab, but there's one kill on one of the Reapers.
Yeah,
I think it must have been a creep tumor. Yeah, I think it must have been a creep tumor.
I suppose that's possible. But yeah, I mean, especially if you make two Reapers, you do want to get something more done with it. At least scout further into the base. Because right now, there is some funky stuff happening here. It is a 6-minute lair, no third. Roach Warren is halfway done, so TLO could be looking to make a 2-base Roach timing attack with speed.
Oh. This is weird. This is like a very much... It feels to me like a play to the map. Because you think about this map and you're like, oh, This map, it's a little bit easier to do that kind of economy style because my natural expansion's super defensive, right? It's very easy to defend. And you could see that Bunny even kind of saying, you know what, I'll go for the fast 3CC style, because even if there is an attack, I can just retreat up to my main base with the third CC. I just don't have to take my third CC. And I'm curious how well this is going to work out for TLO. The Reaper does come in over here as well for Bunny. He moves into the natural expansion, he sees the Roach War, and he sees that Lair Tech is finished up. I think that might be enough information.
Oh, that's definitely enough information. He doesn't see, well, yeah, he sees all the tech, doesn't see a Spire, and doesn't see anyways all the gas is saturated, so there wouldn't be a Spire. So he knows what's coming, and he's going to have to start preparing adequately.
Because there's, I mean, this is actually not what I was expecting. This makes a lot more sense. Nidus Worm coming out. I think that Bunny might know. I think that he knows. He's moving his Marines, kind of spreading them out, getting full vision of all of his base. He's building supply depots at the top side of his natural expansion. He is getting ready for this Roach attack.
There is only one Overlord at the bottom of the map, and that's exactly where the Nidus just popped.
Oh my god.
And it's going to come down here in the third. Oh, a Marine does scout it, but that's not going to be enough DPS to take out the Nidus Worm. Roaches are going to come out of this.
Yeah. He's not going to be able to kill it, but it is going to be softened up a good bit, actually. It's going to be going down to like half health. Roach is going to be able to pop out over here, but they still got to make their way up the ramp. Where are the units over here? We got a couple of Marauders in the mix, but is that going to be enough?
I don't know. The wall's been broken down. There's only 6 Roaches, though. It's not a huge amount. In the meantime, we do have these Hellions also doing some kind of harassment at the top there. But, of course, these Roaches down here getting poked out by the Marauders, not quite making their way into the base just yet. These Hellions, though, definitely making their way into this base, but not taking out too much. 5 workers.
Killed off 5 workers. Not terrible. I mean, the thing is you have to consider the fact that TLO still does not have a third, and Bunny is gone 3CC. This is a very economic focused build. And he's still sitting in a better economy than TLO. So TLO has to do some damage over here. He's getting some more Roaches. He's still looking to make that big push in. And the Wallen has not been remade, so he has an opportunity to do something, but the bunkers are going to make this very difficult to break through.
Yeah, and we've seen this time and time again, where the Zerg plays very aggressively, and even a lot of times they do get good damage done. They still face their opponents having 3 CC, 3 orbitals, and then the Terran can still come back. So in a situation where the Zerg doesn't do a lot of damage with their aggression, well, that's just easy situation for the Terran.
Yeah, this second Nidus Worm is perplexing me a little bit right now, Droopy. Nidus Worm over at his opponent's gold expansion? And I can't make sense of it.
Well, we're going to actually have units come out here. Queens are going to creep on that gold base.
Oh my god. Don't tell me this drop is going to scout that. Don't tell me the drop is going to scout a Roach. See a Roach?
Oh, it sees a Roach! It sees a Roach!
But did he notice?
I don't know. Because if he doesn't see a structure, it's not going to show up on the mini-map, so...
Yeah, exactly.
Well, it is a little weird. I'll say that.
Yeah. Creep spread gets cleaned up mostly. TLO still has 1 active creep tumor. So if Bunny is not careful, he could be in a lot of trouble with that creep tumor respreading itself over to that 3rd expansion, having to waste a good chunk of scans. Oh no! Wow, Bunny is super on top of that. He knows there's a creep tumor there. Kills that one off as well.
Very nice catch there. Drop from Bunny. Just kind of flies around, not really finding a great opportunity to attack anything. Drops the units right in front of the Roaches. Not sure if that was... I don't know why he did that.
Queued up action or something.
Possibly. But we have another 2 drops heading over to the left. This might actually end up being a lot more productive here for Bunny, as there's really nothing here to defend against this. Not even so much as a queen.
Yeah, even the Roaches that are out are actually on the other side of the map. There are some infestors popping out right now, though. They have enough energy for a fungal growth. There's 1 fungal growth. Medevacs is going to start to heal those units up, but the Roaches going to have a much easier time picking off these Marines now.
Oh, man, the 3rd goes down. The 3rd was already a lot later than a Zerg generally would like to have in a standard kind of opening. So to have that taken out to rear their ugly head. Another 2 heading into this natural right now. Just a handful of Roaches, not enough to deal with it. This one over here that took out the 3rd. I think these Roaches will arrive to finish that off, but now the natural is in danger here. And Bunny doing some good damage. If he can take out that Nidus, that's a big investment for TLO to lose.
Yeah, a lot of the roaches also falling. Gigi gets called Bunny, taking a
Yeah.
very decisive game number one.
Absolutely. If you go for that kind of aggressive two base, it's practically an all in. Like if it doesn't
Yeah.
do damage, you're done because Liquid Bunny is on three bases. Vonnie is a great map for drops. You can't defend. There's just no way. There's just no way.
Yeah, exactly. And I think it's one of those things where TLO tried something. TLO has always been known as like the creative player.
Yeah.
Um, and he tried something. He tried something fairly interesting, like going for the two base Roach Nidus play, but not being able to get the Nidus worm down in the main base kind of hurts. But
Yeah.
on top of that, when you go for it outside of the base on a map like Vonnie Research Station, I think that you have to get the Nidus worm almost in the main base because it's
Yeah.
just too easy to defend that or that main base ramp. It's just a little bit too easy.
I feel like this may seem too obvious, and maybe that's why he didn't do it. He had that
Mhm.
one Overlord that was at the third of the Terran, but no Overlord to the natural. That could have been a prime place to put up a
Yeah.
Nidus. At the very least, if Bunny spots it in time, goes and kills it, his army's out of place to defend the front ramp. I don't
Mhm.
know. It just that attack didn't really work out well at all for TLO. But
Yeah.
as we've said earlier, it's a series. This is an even longer one than the ones we've had,
Right.
best of seven. So this
Mhm.
is a time where players sort of get a feel for each other if they don't already know each other's tendencies, and TLO can play a little differently in going forward.
Yeah. And one thing I will say is that even if there are like some situations where teammates don't necessarily play with each other a lot, but one
Yeah.
thing I will guarantee you is almost all teammates on teams talk with each other a lot. They talk about the game, they talk about things that they're struggling with, things that they feel like they're doing really well against, all that kind of stuff. So there's some potential for like revelations of, oh, TLO has talked with Bunny, and Bunny struggles against two base Roach Nidus plays or something like that. So
Yeah.
he might try and capitalize on that kind of stuff. All the kind of mind games can still happen, even if it's not because they've played a lot together. They know each other's playstyles, as you were kind of saying.
Well, if that is in fact for these two players, let's see who is going to benefit from it more in game two. You're on Overgrowth LE here, and let's take a look at the first player. Red Terran spawning on the upper right hand side. He is enjoying a 1-0 lead. Can he push it to 2 for Liquid? Team Liquid, that is. It is going to be Bunny.
And his opponent spawned down here in the bottom left-hand corner of the map. You know him and you love him if you've been following StarCraft since even the heart of the legacy of the wow, even since the Wings of Liberty beta. There's the right expansion. It is Liquid's TLO.
So TLO is working his way up to a good drone count, 14 now. Still no buildings in sight yet. Bunny, on the other hand, looks like he has already gone ahead with a Rax as well as a refinery, both at 11-11. Now, last game, he started off with the 2 Reapers. Didn't get quite much done with them as far as harassment, but Overgrowth is a slightly easier map to do some Reaper stuff on. So we may see him going with Reaper again.
Yeah. And I'm kind of thinking about how this series is going to go. Obviously, it's a best of 7, so there's still plenty of time for TLO to come back. But would you agree in saying that Bunny is probably, by a lot of people, considered the favorite for this series in terms of just how much he's accomplished? He's a WCS Premier League player. He's capable of taking on even some like great Korean players, been able to take them like head on. TLO, I think he's a great player also, but I feel like he hasn't been getting quite as many results lately. And I think that he is sort of the underdog coming into this.
Well, yeah, and I would say that the viewers agree with you on that. The poll
Yeah.
guys that we have running in chat, 65% think Bunny is going to win this event. TLO 35. I'd say that that's a lot less lopsided than the Harstom and Bly vote.
Oh my god. Some people out there, they knew that Hearthstone was going to win. They knew the comeback was happening. Well, we'll see if it's the minority that's going to be calling the TLO comeback in this series. There's Reapers now moving across the map. Queen should be out relatively soon, but the Zerglings should be able to buy more than enough time for the Queens to actually pop out.
Yep, and on creep, of course, they're very competitive with Reapers. Off creep, not so much, but as they go into the creep of the natural, they can still give chase to that Reaper. Queen's still on their way. Oh, yeah. So we're seeing third Reaper being queued up here for Liquid Bunny. So he's trying to make this Reaper stuff work. Didn't work last game. Now we are going to have another arrive here soon to join in. So not much killed yet, though.
Yeah, Factory following up behind it. It's just softening up the Queen. And this is what you want to do if you're going for the 3 Reaper build. You want to soften up the Queen. You want to make it a big target for when you come back in with the 3rd Reaper. And that's when you start doing the real serious amounts of damage. Zergling speed's still going to be a good bit away from actually finishing up. So, but it should be able to do some nice damage over here. And this is going to be the big point where TLO has to be a bit careful about how he controls this.
Yeah, absolutely. And there's a 3rd CC out down now to follow up with the 3 Reaper opening. And so if those Reapers can get some good kills...
Oh, ends up losing 2 of them for a Queen? I think less than ideal. He kills off a Queen, which is nice, but I mean, really that's just going to delay the creep spread a little bit, which is nice. You have to keep that in mind because Hellions are going to be on the way. If he denies the creep spread for a bit longer, then TLO has a harder time taking that 3rd expansion, defending it, but... I don't know if Bunny would be super happy with that trade.
Yeah, I mean, generally you do like to keep your Reapers alive for further map control, even if you can't use them to harass anymore. But even so, I mean, it's not like he was going to use those Reapers for too much more, so I guess that from that standpoint, it's not too bad. We're going to have a couple Lings here. Well, not a couple, quite a few Lings in the natural of Bunny here. And it's going to force the SCVs to back off, the lift off here just momentarily to deny mining. But with the Hellions out, they should be able to secure that natural. And as I'm talking about this, it looks like a lair is on its way for TLO. So another 2-base lair. No 3rd just yet. What does he have up his sleeve?
Well, gotta fix those guys in gas. Has 2 guys, and one of the gas guys is over the natural. And if you're going for a 2-base layer, if you're looking to go for a 2-base Spire play, as I suspect this is going to be, you really need every bit of gas you can get. Even being short 1 extra Beetles because you weren't mining with 1 extra guy in gas, that can actually really make or break the difference between killing off a couple extra SCVs, between killing off the missile turret before it gets the repair off, or not killing it off at all.
Now we're seeing a 3rd being taken by TLO. Now Bunny does not know about this Spire just yet. I mean, at some point he's going to probably want to go to that 3rd just to see it's there. See that it is, well, pretty far behind in its progress. So it's very likely there's some kind of tech for TLO at home, right? But so far he doesn't really have much anti-air going for him. He's in fact going for a armory. He's going to turn this into Hellbats. So this is going to be his aggression here. And... following this, I don't know if there's going to be anti-air for him, but we'll see how much damage this Hellbat attack can do.
Yeah, he has a very nice window of opportunity where TLO is invested into the 2-base Spire play. He didn't make any spine crawlers or any extra defenses, and these Hellbats are pretty much going to go uncontested. Even the Spire gets scouted out by these Hellbats, so he knows exactly what he's up against. He's just continuing to wreak absolute havoc in the natural expansion.
Yeah, Queen's taken out. These Zerglings all trying to get surrounds on the Hellbats, but the Hellbats are being microed into these little crevices that'll keep the Lings from surrounding them. Last Hellbat's taken out, but plenty of Lings were taken out in that effort, though. So good damage done, very cost-effective for Bunny. And he sees the Spire. That's probably the most important thing because now he can adequately prepare for it.
Yeah, I want to know, there's no... Okay, sorry, I was about to say there's no 3rd CC, but there is a 3rd CC. It's just sitting along the bottom side of his main base. So Bunny is going to have the potential. He's going to be able to make a lot of those workers. He's going to be in a very comfortable position. But how much damage is he going to be taking from those mutals? He's not starting the Spire or the missile turrets just yet, but he does have a bit more time to do so.
Yeah, he does. Especially he's chancing the fact, too, that, okay, well, he just made a lot of Lings to deal with me. Maybe he doesn't have that much larva to put into mutas yet, so I have a bit of time to build the turrets just a hair later so I can get on my production. Well, that's going to be a good gamble for him, but the mutas are arriving right now, so we're going to see just initial damage done onto that building SCV. Marines running into the main base right now to chase off the initial 3. I think give a little, maybe 30 more seconds, and Bunny will have his base secured against Mutas.
Yeah, cutting it very, very close there with the timing of that. But as you were saying, not too many Mutalisks out just yet. Only 5 or 6 Mutalisks actually moving around the map. The number is going to start to build up. It's going to start to build up actually pretty quickly now. But we do have TLO with the 3rd base finally mining relatively well. Going to get some spine crawlers over there. And we'll see. I mean, there still are some vulnerabilities for Bunny. Even if you have the missile turrets there, Mutalisks in high enough number can start to pick that thing off if you don't repair quickly enough. And heck, you can even find some nice little openings with the glaive worm bounces.
Well, right now they're trying to pick off SCVs with the glaive worm bounces. Just 1 hit at a time backing off. Not too many workers killed there, only 3 throughout the game for both players, I should say.
Yeah.
They're now being secured by Bunny. No missile turrets here yet, though. He is just going to rely on these Marines on the ground to help against anything, any aggression.
Yeah, and Marines, I mean, it's kind of a long distance that Bunny has to actually defend against, and you can see that the Mutalisks are doing a good job of exploiting that. They're moving into the natural expansion back and forth. The 3rd expansion is what Bunny has been trying to defend, but Bunny is finally starting to get a bit more on the offensive over here. Looking to pick up a couple of these Overlords, and actually, there's not a whole lot of units back at home for TLO to defend. He has enough Banelings and Zergons, I think, to deal with this pressure, but he does get a bit supply block, and it's going to halt additional production.
Well, one thing that will help him, though, is that the Baneling speed is just about to finish. So if he does have to rely on just those ground units to hold off against aggression from Bunny,
oh, yeah,
that'll help a lot. But actually, he's going to bring a lot of these Lings over to the top. But there's nothing in that normal 3rd location, which he now confirms. And he's going to have to go after the natural.
Oh man, supply depots are both low, or all of them almost are lowered, and he kills off the bunker almost immediately. A lot of the army for Bunny is along the bottom side. They're actually over the 3rd expansion, and TLO has some of the Banelings moving in, but Bunny splits up perfectly, and I think that TLO realizes he's not going to be able to get many big hits off over there.
I think TLO pulled up those Banelings just in time, too, away from the burrowed Widow Mine, so that was a good thing for him. But now he's going to go full stop into these Marines. Split pretty decently, but now it's just Mutas on Marines, guys.
Oh,
That's
no,
not exactly
TLO!
Oh, but he finishes off the rest of the Marines with the Banelings.
It does work out. He cleans up. I feel like he lost a decent number of Mutalisks over there. He'll end up losing 4 or 5 Mutalisks over there.
Yeah,
I don't know. It's kind of like one of those awkward trades where you end up fighting with the Mutalisks versus the Marines at the end, and you're like, you kind of have to make the judgment call of, do I have enough Mutalisks versus their low number of Marines? And I guess it ended up working out okay, but you do want to keep that Mutalisk count high. If you can keep that Mutalisk count really, really high, you can start to kind of spiral out of control, especially if your opponent is not making a lot of Widow Mines, which is just starting production now.
Yeah, I mean, it's a tough judgment call, and you know, when your opponent is starting to get up there in the upgrades, we have Combat Shield done, 1/1 done. I don't know if TLO can do something like that again, but I'm sure that he'll recognize that when it comes. So,
indeed. I gotta say though, TLO has been staying really on top of the upgrades for those Mutalisks. He's already staying on +2 air weapons. He's gonna be able to try and move in, get some free pickouts wherever he can. Baneling's starting to run a little bit lower on health. Did we actually have... I don't think we actually got concussive shells researched. I don't know. It's a really small thing that I've started noticing lately. Some Terrans like to get concussive shells in TVZ, some Terrans don't.
I guess the thinking is, well, if my Marauders are only attacking Lings, like, what's slowing down one
exactly,
Ling, I suppose? Because they're going to die super quick anyway.
Yeah, exactly. It's a really, like, a random weird thing that I've been noticing. Like, some Terrans like to get it to maybe slow down, like, a Baneling. If they can get one extra pick off on an extra Baneling or two, it's nice, but... Regardless, we're going to be seeing the big engagement.
Oh,
yeah.
Split's happening for Bunny. Half of his army taken out, but again, it's just how things end up. Mutas versus Marines. And that's exactly what you want as Terra. Now this base under siege may go down, but first chasing off the Muta threat. And Bunny may see the light here in taking out this fourth base.
Yeah, gonna kill off a handful more of those drones, and it looks like Bunny really wanting to make sure that the Team Gravity Fight Night curse/blessing is gonna carry on, looking for that 2-0 lead in the series. See if he can make it happen. The Mutalisks are actually doing a good job picking off all the medevacs, all the Zerglings, and he will be able to clean up all of this army, but Bunny has a big rally going across the map. All he has to do is regroup, and I think he'll be okay against this army. Maybe.
Depends how many banelings can come out in time. That's a huge factor here. But it looks like
Yeah,
TLO's
that's
not going to
true.
wait for him. He's just going to go after this army right now before everything rallies up together. Widowmine gets taken out as well. And actually, these mutas are in a pretty good look right here. Not a lot of army
Yeah.
units grouped up. Those Marines will just die if they're in such small numbers.
Oh my god. And TLO doing a great job also waiting for that Overseer to show up so he can take out some of those Widow Mines. And yeah, TLO maybe saying that, hey, Bunny, you overcommitted a little bit. You lost a couple too many units to take out that hatchery. I'm going to punish you for this. Is he going to be able to do the punishment? He's moving into this expansion. He's going to go after some of the SCVs. And SCVs managed to escape, though.
Yeah, he unloaded the banelings into that command center. Not sure. Well, I guess that did ensure the CC died because... I
Yeah.
don't know. In this situation, would you rather take out the CC or would you take out all these SCVs?
That's a good question, because, I mean, we can see that it's not going to delay mining for very long. Bunny just kind of floats over his orbital command from the main base, but you do kind of lose out on the mule potential, which is sort of, it's pretty important to think about. Honestly, I don't know. It's a really hard judgment call to make right now. I think either way, Bunny's still going to be sitting okay-ish on economy, but if he loses his main orbital command, I think that's just a win. I think that's just a straight-up win, Droopy.
Oh yeah. There's no questioning that, and it's gone. And because the army of Bunny is down on the bottom half of the map right now, making their way towards one of the bases of TLO, and also doing some creep
God.
control. Damage has to be done here. When you lose 2 CCs in a span of 90 seconds, you need to get some kind of revenge, and that may happen on
sounds
this third
familiar.
base.
Deja vu here, Droopy,
Yes, it
but the
is.
Mutals trying to engage some of the reinforcements over here. The Bailings trying to find good engagements as well. The units over the third expansion for Bunny are very well split, and they're going to be able to take out that third. The fourth expansion is still going up, so TLO can bounce back from this, but he's got to clean up this army.
And he will. Plenty of mutas to go around. Not enough Marines on the ground to save the day there, and it will be cleaned up at the cost of a base. But
As well as
let's
a lot of drones.
It was a lot of drones, though, actually. It wasn't just the cost of a base. He's only on 45 workers now compared to 64
Yeah.
Liquid Bunny.
But, I mean, at the same time, Liquid Bunny is not really... He's barely mining, actually, right now. He's got his natural expansion, and that's it, because he just doesn't have the orbital commands to mine from a third. He's got a command center floating over to the other third location, but, I mean, these beetles are going to harass in the main base. Guess where they're going to head next? They're going to head over to the natural, and then they're going to head over to that third. I imagine.
Yeah, that's just an easy flight path for these guys, and they're taking out so many supply depots right now.
Oh my
Not quite
God.
supply blocking Bunny just yet, but getting awfully close. Marines on the ground. There's actually not that many of them. He can probably engage that, I think, if he
Yeah.
chose to. But looks like
Silly
he's...
skill. Yeah. Oh, the Marine count's starting to get a little bit high. I think that
Now
TLO
he needs to
may
run.
be overstaying his welcome if he sticks around for too much longer. But yeah, he was able to do a lot of damage over there. And Bunny kind of just saying, silly TLO. I've already lost all of my army supply. You can't supply block me. TLO's like, well, actually, if I just kill every single supply depot you have, I will eventually supply block you. Oh my god, he's heading back into the main base. Look, this is the difficulty in taking that third expansion that Bunny's trying to take right now, is it's such a long distance away. He's having so much trouble defending against these mules. He's going to start losing add-ons next.
Yeah, these Marines are scrambling back, but that means that they leave the natural open. And oh my god, one Glaive Worm could take out a lot of
Oh.
SCVs there. They're stacked up on the few remaining mineral patches, but I guess he'll be happy just going after the turret.
Oh.
And
Oh.
Widow Mine. Nice control
What
there.
What was that dud Widow Mine? Oh my god. I want to note that Bunny is still supply blocked, and he's not even making supply depots right now. There, he finally starts a couple. He's going to need 4 of them to unsupply block himself. How terrible of a feeling is that? TLO, in the meanwhile, is just kind of sitting back. He's retaking his third. He's droning up, or, you know, making the units that he needs.
Oh my god.
You said-
Were those burrowed
Oh.
banelings?
Those were
burrowed
burrowed banelings. Oh my
Oh.
god.
My god. That is insane.
TLO. Taking
I
a
can't-
dominating lead in this game.
Oh my god, the way he
Uh,
just pulled off the burrowed banelings. Now, those Marines did catch quite a few of those mutas flying through the top there, but those burrowed banelings, I think they just made Bunny piss his pants.
Oh my god. To put this in perspective, ladies and gentlemen, we have full vision, and we didn't see the burrowed banelings.
I know.
So Bunny just kind of got wrecked by them, and he does not have vision of those burrowed banelings. Um, so we have 38 SCVs left over. Half of them are transferring over to the third expansion, and they're actually going to start getting picked off by these Mutilas because TLO is just controlling these Mutilas phenomenally right now. Oh my god, no, he will. Don't tell me he's going to kill off another command center. Please don't. TLO, that's just brutal, man. He's your teammate. Have some sympathy.
It doesn't appear that will be the case,
Oh
but
my god, these
look at all these SCVs. How'd they end up here? They're a little
He was
lost.
trying to run away. He was trying to run away and start mining from the gold expansion. Oh god, down to 21 SCVs. I don't know how you recover from this, Droopy.
You don't. That's all I can say. Because now these banelings are crashing in. Is the split going to help Bunny? It does briefly, but really just not enough. The quantity is too big here for TLO. And that's that. GG from Bunny, and the series is now tied up 1-1.
Wow. Great play over there from Bunny, and from TLO, and able to bring that game back from what looked like a kind of awkward situation, losing that fourth expansion, having so much damage done to your third, but saying, you know what, Bunny, no, you overcommitted, and he was able to do that counter swing and really, really drive him back.
Yeah, that was fantastically done by TLO. He owned that match right there in that game number 2. So, well, good to see that we have a 1-1 starter now for after 2 games.
There we go, man. There we go. The Fight Night curse is broken in the final series of the day. That's the way I like it.
Well, let's take a look at this stream here. It looks like my mugshot is on. It's in black and white. Just having a gloomy day here. How could I possibly have a gloomy day when these games have been so freaking good? Right?
I know, man. Today's games have been phenomenal, all right? And I'm saying this, I want to note this. I'm saying this coming off the back of IEM Katowice, which had like the sickest freaking like series and the sickest players and everything, and that was insanely hyped, tons of viewers and everything. And these games have been phenomenal. These games are like still getting me more excited right now. I'm having so much fun. And I know you are too, Droopy.
Yeah, indeed. And I think what happened was Skype has that 4-hour limit, so the webcam shuts off automatically. So
Team Gravity Fight Night not sponsored by Skype.
No,
not
yet.
sure if we want to be
Not
sponsored
yet.
by Skype. I don't know. Skype is an interesting program, but it is something that we will end up keep using for a little bit.
Yep.
For the foreseeable future, I suppose.
Well, we are sponsored by Hitbox. There's that. So
We
if you guys
are
are enjoying the
Hitbox.
stream, you guys know what it's all about, man. Hitbox.tv/Team Gravity. Come here for the party. If you're watching this embedded on Team Liquid or anything like that, you're missing out on this amazing chat. We already had one new subscriber in Roddy's soundboard. He knows that as a sub, you can do lots of cool stuff in that chat. Sick emoticons, the posting of GIFs. I still have yet to see a Roddy GIF, so I'm still waiting on that. Or maybe I missed it while casting. But you guys should come on over here as well. Follow, vote in this poll, and really just be part of this excitement here that's happening.
Indeed, but let's go ahead and jump in and introduce the players as we jump into game number 3. Spawning over here on the left-hand side of the map is the red Terran player. May have lost that last game, but he is still a very, very strong and well-respected player. Representing Team Liquid is Liquid's Bunny.
And against him is going to be the guy that simply made it happen game 2. I'm still just in shock at that Burrow Baneling. That, I don't know how long that's going to linger here. But yeah, it's the Blue Zerg guys in the 5 o'clock position representing Team Liquid in this intra-clan battle, I guess. Trying to take the 2-1 lead. Yeah, his first lead of the day, potentially. It is TLO.
Alrighty, game 3 in the civil war between Team Liquid players. We'll see who's going to come out as the Union and who's going to come out as the United States. Because I know I'm from the U.S., so I'm hashtag very biased there. Even though everyone today we've casted has been European. I'm gonna throw out the
Yeah.
American Civil War reference.
That's right. And the thing is, we call this fight night, and it's anything but
Mhm.
night in the Americas. It's night in Europe, though.
Fight
So
noon.
fight
Fight
noon.
noon.
Yeah, Fear Dragon's like, so, am I casting fight noon today? Earlier. That was pretty funny.
I enjoyed that. But all right, we got a hatchery first coming out over here for TLO. Not too concerned about defending against that Reaper aggression. I can't really blame him. He's done a pretty good job of it in some of the previous games. Even in game number 1, he warded off the 2 Reapers, and I don't even think the Reapers got a scout off on him until like much later on in the game. I don't think they even saw if he took gas or not. And then in game number 2, the 3 Reapers, they managed to pick off a queen, but they both, like, he killed off 2 Reapers of the 3 for that queen, which is just not really supposed to happen. So TLO has done a pretty good job defending against Reapers. Feels very comfortable about it. He can honestly open up however he wants in my mind right now.
Well, if there's a map where Reapers can work out well, if there was a time to do the 3 Reaper opening, it would be now. Catalina has
That's
that
true.
second entrance. It's funny because you can literally just travel in a circle, up and down, up and down,
Yep.
down through the natural, up through the main, and just in a clockwise fashion, and really just make the Reaper harassment work. But we'll see a second Reaper out shortly. First one is going to go after a drone. Will it get the kill? Oh, almost surrounded there. Slips out just in time. Red drone being whisked away. Has a chaperone with it, which is really cute. And
Oh my god. This drone micro, man. Like, I know that this is an RTS. I know that it's about multitasking, but oh
he
my
kills
god,
one.
this multitasking finally kills a drone, which is actually a really nice pickup for Bunny. But god, TLO, I really felt like he was controlling like multiple armies there of drones and moving them around. That was pretty cool.
well, with the third Reaper about to finish up soon, he's going to have to do more of that. TLO, that is, in defending. 2 Reapers going to come together here. Perhaps try to target down a queen soon.
Yep. No third Reaper on the way. Want to note that. Factory going up instead and building that reactor for the factory to get up those Hellions. With the queens out, these Reapers should really just be here to kind of put the pressure on, to annoy TLO, maybe drive him away from larva injecting and staying on top of his build. Maybe get a scout off a little bit later. Oh, wait a second. I am actually completely full of it, Droopy. We do have 3 Reapers.
Yeah, definitely 3 Reapers. Can they go after that queen, though? Well, that one red Reaper dangerously close to one needle spine, and it goes down. Plenty of range on those queens. That is what they're used for. And we are going to see a Baneling nest, 10 lings coming out.
Oh. This doesn't look like a Baneling nest in preparation for a, say, 10-minute timing push from a Terran player. This looks like a Baneling nest that lines up with Zergling speed and a lot of Zerglings moving across the map. Now, let me ask you something, Droopy. You see a Zerg player with those Reapers, make a handful of Zerglings, not too many, but you still see them mining gas. Do you think that's the big tip-off, or do you think that the fact that there's, like, 30 Zerglings in your natural expansion being the tip-off?
I guess whichever one you see first, preferably the gas part.
Yeah.
But yeah, Bunny's going to have to evacuate into this natural, no question about it. And this is going to be obviously annoying for him to hold, mainly because, well, he went 3 CC. That's going to leave him with less of an army here as these Banelings will bust down that supply depot. The rest of the Lings are coming in. There's still 2 of these Hellions. Can they be micro to effect here to try to get those Zerglings to kill us SCVs? And they're doing all right, but that Baneling almost. Oh my gosh.
Well, there's a couple more Zerglings left over, but they are going to be retreating back. And, you know, TLO did a lot of cool damage there. He busted down in through the, supply blocking Bunny for a little bit. He's still actually a little bit supply blocked, killing off a couple of workers. I think at the end, we see 9 workers killed, but was it enough? Because we've mentioned this before.
Yes, we
3
have.
CC builds. 3 CC builds, Droopy. Pretty damn strong.
You know how much we've mentioned that? Because the second you said we've mentioned this before, I knew what you were talking about.
I think that we've even talked about it in the Zerg versus Protoss. Yeah, well, there weren't even
The
Terran
Protoss
players.
doesn't have the advantage of 3 CCs.
Yeah.
Right?
Uh,
Just a quote.
but these drones, oh god, I really feel like Bunny's doing a great job over here. I'm not a huge fan of where TLO's sitting right now. He's gone for the lair tech right now. He's starting to get that up, but that just means that he doesn't have that many units back at home to defend against the Hellions.
Oh, wow. When you have to A move drones onto Hellions, that is not a good sign. But
Mhm.
the Queens do chase them away, though. Up to
Yeah.
12 workers killed by Bunny, which is actually more workers than TLO has killed.
Kills. I think it's 9 kills during that drop from those 4 Hellions, and only one of them has actually died. There's still 3 Hellions left over, and they might have a little bit of trouble getting more damage done, but they've already done a ton of damage. TLO's trying to respond with a counterattack of Zerglings, but there are some Hellions back at home to defend as well.
Yeah, and as soon as they finish off these lings, we're going to basically see both players on the same number of workers. The difference is one guy has 3 bases and meals on top of that. Not a good look
Yeah.
for the Zerg.
Not to mention, I mean, he's got his starport finished up. He's got his tech lab researching stim. He's starting on all of that. Where's TLO? He's got 2 gas geysers and a roach warren with lair. I mean, it's really not where you want to be. I mean, there's no spire on the way. There's no like 3rd and 4th gas geysers that have been mining for a while. There's no baneling nest. TLO really has to figure out what he's gonna do when the eventual attack comes from Bunny. Although I don't even know if Bunny needs to attack for a good bit.
It's deja vu. It really is, because this is kind of similar to what happened on Vonnie Research Station Game 1, right? Very aggressive, 2-base play by TLO. Doesn't really get much done. And then Bunny on 3CC going to start pumping out a lot of medevacs, start throwing drops all over the place.
Oh.
How are you supposed to defend against that when you're in TLO's position?
I don't know, but I think that TLO is trying to go for the big aggression. But here's the thing: the Hellions move out of the natural expansion, and they see the Banelings morphing in. That means that he knows that this attack is coming. He's getting ready, and that means that the SCVs are pulled in time. That means that he has time to build bunkers, because there's not even enough Banelings to bust down this wall in.
Nope. Nope. It is a denied, rejected entrance there from TLO, and, well, he's going to try and take a 3rd base now. About 60% done. In the meantime, though, Bunny is just going to be happy to start double researching on these engineering bays and add to his economic lead.
Yeah, TLO's trying to do something smart, which is saying, you know, you have all these SCVs pulled for a good bit of time. Let me just try and take my 3rd and drone up as heavily behind this, try and play as greedy as possible behind this, so I'm not too far behind. But he had to invest in all those roaches and the banelings and just weren't able to do anything. That's just the way that Zerg works, ladies and gentlemen, is if you make units earlier on, that means that you aren't mining with drones earlier on. Those should have been drones. They could have been drones. You can't do any damage to those units.
Well, here's a drop consisting of Hellions, 4 of which forcing drones to be A-moved. Again, like I said earlier, it's not a good sign for a Zerg when that has to happen. So yeah, quite a few workers were killed in this effort. Up to 22 now for the game, killed by Liquid Bunny.
Extra 10 drones killed. Less than ideal for TLO. But can he do something to come back? He's going for 1-1 upgrades, and he's sticking around on Roach Tech, so may even see an eventual transition into Hydralisk or something, but he's got a lot of Roaches. He's moving out with the Banelings. Oh, actually, Bunny's moving out. Maybe this could work out, actually, if TLO is able to catch his army while it's still out on the map.
Well, we'll see. Those Banelings don't quite have speed, not for a while, so those Marines will be able to get far enough away. 2 automines just unloaded, so a bit of time for TLO to get past them.
Supply depot not raised. The Baneling's gonna explode on the engineering base. Interesting decision. He kills off one of them, but he realizes he lost way too much there. GG gets called.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know if that was a decision so much as it just happened. But
I mean, it's like you could either do that in that situation, or you could just hit X and blow up all your Banelings anywhere. That's like the okay, I'm done with this game.
Oh well.
Right.
So that is going to be a 2-1 lead now for Bunny as we head into game number 4. And it's been back and forth. I guess we can put it that way for sure.
Yeah, I want to ask you something, Drew, because I'm thinking back to game number 2. What do you think the big difference is between games 1 and 3 and game 2? Because I know that there was the really attempted aggression from TLO in games 1 and 3 that didn't end up working out. Do you think it's just like TLO needs to like this early aggression isn't working out. You maybe need to like cut it out, kind of thing.
Yeah, I would say so because it's all in. That's what it is.
Mhm.
And if you
Yeah.
don't do even because again, we're totally beating this to death, but I have seen so many games where even the Zerg does huge amounts of damage to Terran, but just because they have the 3CC behind it, they can come back from it,
I've
you
seen
know?
Terrans come back from economic deficits with 3CC when they have under 5 workers before.
Yeah, absolutely. Because the big difference is when they're dropping those mules and mining all those minerals, they can produce both SCVs and Marines at the same time. Like they can afford to do it. So it's not like a different race when they're trying to come back from behind that all they can do is make probes and tech, you know? Like that they can
Yeah.
only afford one, two of those things at most, but can't make any army units. Terran can make army units during their comeback. That's the biggest difference. And when they can make army units, it means they can harass, they can drop if they still have
Yep.
medevacs remaining to buy themselves even further time. And so that's how Terran really that's the book of comebacks for Terran. Like that's how it's done.
3CC. Yeah, exactly. So we'll end up seeing whether or not TLO decides to get hyper aggressive once again, or if he's going to just try and sit it back a little bit more economic focus. And there's always that potential, Droopy. There's always that potential. Bunny decides to
Hyper
get a little bit
aggression.
cheesy.
Well, it does say hyper in
I-
his clan tag. Okay.
Yep.
So we do have the first player here. He was able to stabilize after a game 2 loss. Now back in lead once more, 2-1 in this best of 7. It is the Red Terran on the upper right hand side of Expedition Lost LE. Representing Team Liquid, it is Bunny.
And his opponent spawning down in the bottom left-hand corner of the map. We have the blue Zerg player sitting down 1 and 2. May have some clues on how to win his next couple of games. It is Liquid's the Little One.
How little is he? I don't remember.
He's not super little, honestly. I've met him in person. He's like average height. He's actually pretty average height. But cool story. I want to make sure I'm not like totally wrong on this. I'm pretty sure this is the story behind how he got the name the Little One. I believe that he was he was at a LAN event, and for those who don't know, his brother is named the Big One. But he was at a LAN event, and his brother is an older brother, playing at the LAN event and everything. And he was a fairly young kid. And from what I heard, he basically was like StarCraft Brood War or Warcraft 3 or something. And he really impressed a lot of people with how good he was, actually, for how young he was as well. So a lot of people were kind of saying, you know, this guy is like, he's gonna be like big someday. And his brother was named the Big One, so he named himself the Little One. It's kind of cool inspirational story to see how good he actually ended up getting in as time passed.
Indeed. That does sound pretty awesome. And if he could replicate what he did in game 2, then he'll just look even that much better for it. For now, we do see Bunny here going with the CC first. So a departure from his Reaper heavy play in the last 3 games. Interesting map to do this on. It is Expedition Lost. So there are potentials for early harassment. TLO no stranger to that.
Oh, definitely not a stranger to that early harassment capability. Been trying to implore it quite a bit throughout the series, but we'll see if he actually ends up doing it in this game. What do you think is with this spawning pool positioning? It's a really small thing, but it's just kind of bugging me. I just never seen someone plant their spawning pool there.
Maybe I don't know. I'm just trying to rationalize this here. It could be completely. It could just be because he could have done it for no reason, but maybe
Yeah.
it's to limit the areas where Reapers can come up. Perhaps.
Oh,
I don't know. That's all I can think.
that would actually be cool. Actually, you know what would be really cool? You throw down the spawning pool there. Later on, you throw an evolution chamber kind of beside it, touching the minerals, and you block off the path for Hellions to run by. So if the Hellions run behind the mineral line, they have to run through the mineral line to get out.
Yeah, could be a setup for that too. That would make a lot of sense.
I'm always a fan of the small kind of like building placements to get an advantage, like utilizing that. And I think that Terrans and Protosses have really, really embraced that kind of position your, Sim City, your buildings to
Yeah.
give you advantages in the later stages of the game. I always felt like Zergs didn't do it enough though. So I'm kind of happy to see that small thing, small little placements happening.
Well, it's small things like this that do separate the pros from like, just the average GM, right? I mean, these little things
Yeah.
do come into play, and then they'll give you an advantage when you can most use one and least expect it.
Yeah, exactly. One of the cool things about when you watch a pro is you'll say, "Oh man, they were so lucky that the building positioning worked out over there." It's like, no, that's the reason why they did it. And that in that situation they make holds against builds that maybe they shouldn't. Where most other like average GM kind of like ladder heroes and stuff don't quite make the holds. So it's very, very cool stuff to see. But we do end up seeing third CC style. Man, Bunny loves his 3CC.
Yeah, and this is greed. This is serious, serious greed. He opened up with a 15 or a command center first, and then he follows that up with a third CC at 6 minutes. Like, that is pretty outrageous. TLO has been making really aggressive 2-base timings. Potentially going 3CC like this could play right into that, but of course, this game TLO doesn't do that.
Yeah, and I've almost got to think if it's like the ultimate mind game, because I mean you always think about mind games when you're talking about two teammates playing each other. But it's like the ultimate mind game of, well, I know TLO and I know he's probably thinking about how this series has gone, and he's probably noticed that the aggression that he's doing isn't working. So he's fairly unlikely to try aggression again. This is my opportunity to play as greedy as I want to, and it's working. He's gonna get away with it. He's even going to have the Hellions and Banshees out to put on his own aggression before TLO really tries to do anything.
Oh, but something funky is happening here. We do have a
Oh.
Nidus Worm. We have an Overlord making its way to the top on the right side. And there's a lot of open space in the main here on
There
this
is.
map. We saw
Oh my
someone
God.
take advantage of that earlier
Funny.
with a proxy hatchery. Remember that?
Yeah, but look at this Bunny. Exact right timing. Gets the
Oh
supply depot down
my.
at that bottom side. I don't know if it's to keep an eye on for Nidus Worms. It seems a little bit more likely he's keeping an eye on the destructible rocks, but still really sick. And TLO, not even going to try and go over there. He's actually just going to go down to the lower side. So maybe he'll try and take out the destructible rocks, see what damage he can do. But for now, he does need to make sure he's defending against the Banshee as well as the Hellions.
Oh, wow, wow, wow. So the Banshee is going to make its way in.
Hellions.
But these roaches are making their way out.
What? A
Hellions.
second Nidus Worm in the same place?
Huh. Maybe just worried
Is it
about
just
the
for
Hellions
stealth?
taking it out.
Yeah.
Yeah,
maybe.
it could be that too, scaring him, like sending potentially units all over the place. But
Where's my second Nidus Worm? Yeah.
well, Bunny knows that is the second for sure because it popped right after you heard the sound. So that's the second one. And then now these rocks are softened up, going to be taken out soon. We got some queens in here as well that can no doubt help transfuse. Plenty of energy on these guys. And with the Overseer, they
Yeah.
can take out these Banshees as well. So TLO going to start making his entrance into this space.
Yeah, I really like what Bunny's doing. He's hanging back with one of those Banshees, and now that all the units have actually moved out or moved into the main base, he can try and go after that Nidus Worm, which is going to actually be really helpful because the double Nidus Worm play from TLO may actually end up working out for exactly the reasons you said. Bunny is trying to get the hold off. The siege tank goes down, though, and a lot of the roaches are starting to get cleaned up.
Well, a lot of SCVs are as well,
Oh,
but
yeah.
are we going to have to say this again? Are we going to have to repeat this again?
3CC,
Hashtag
but the roaches...
3CC.
I don't know if 3CC can make up for losing all of your army as well, though. As even though the Banshee is doing a lot of damage, all the queens have been picked up, almost the entire army. There's only 7 army supply left over. TLO, his 3 base aggression with no drones by the third, finally works out. Takes game number 4.
Wow, and the Nidus huge there because that last round of roaches is what really put the nail in the coffin.
Second Nidus. It's
Yeah.
it's the double
Yeah.
Nidus.
Yeah, I mean, he's thinking this is the only one here, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah,
but
that's exactly what happened. The Banshee could have taken out the other Knights, but he didn't see it
Yeah.
because he didn't think, like, why would you build 2 Nidus Worms in the same place?
but he heard the sound twice.
He
So
did. Hmm.
I don't know, but
I don't. Yeah.
maybe in the heat of the moment, you might like forget about that. But
Yeah. Yeah.
whatever it was, it cost him. That night has really closed things out in game four there. And TLO now, even again, it's like the four games didn't happen.
Oh my God, sick game out of there from TLO,
Yeah.
and I'm thinking about this now. So he's won like one game that was off of, it was game number two. He evens out the series 1-1 with a nice kind of later style macro game. And now he's finally won one of his more aggressive builds with a Nidus Worm play. So really, I don't even know what to make of it. Like, does TLO? Do you think it was just like maybe a little bit too greedy from Bunny? Because I mean, we're talking about a lot of greed coming out from Bunny. You
Yeah.
think it was just too much, or?
I think so. I mean, you go for the CC first. Generally, that leads into you sort of making an army for a fair bit of time before taking your third. Right? You're delaying your. You're gonna. That's the trade off. But he decided to have his cake and eat it too, and well, now he's having diarrhea.
The worst cake in the world. It looks so delicious on the outside. Those that beautiful economy from the 3CC. I mean, we all know that we love 3CC, but oh,
Oh
it was just
man,
undercooked, man. It was undercooked. Give it a little bit more
absolutely.
time. A little bit more time, and it would be perfect, but not quite there. So I've just got to say, I'm expecting Bunny to play it a little bit more conservative, not necessarily going for CC first, no Reapers,
Yeah,
just straight into like third CC, get
yeah.
out eventual Hellions at some point. Like, I'm almost surprised that we didn't end up seeing Bunny in that game kind of go for like triple 3CC before like Barracks or something crazy like that. But
There's
the way
almost a
that we're
point where
talking about
that actually is even worse because you don't get orbital early.
that is true. That is
So,
true.
but it's funny to think about, I guess.
Yeah, it's like how Zerg players would talk about how right now, I don't know, I think this might change in Legacy of the Void, but as of right now, going 4 hatch before pool is
Yeah.
actually worse than going just 3 hatch before pool
Hmm.
because you miss out on the larva injects, I think
Yeah.
it was, and
Mhm.
like the extra, or like not even larva injects, but like the extra larva
Yeah.
uh from the larva injects. Yeah, something like that. Anyways, I heard a conversation about it. It was pretty cool. Let's go ahead and jump and introduce the players in game number 5 as we spawn up here on the top right-hand corner of the map. On the map, Secret Spring is going to be the blue Zerg player. Took the last game with some fantastic Night Swarm play. Representing Team Liquid, it is TLO.
And this red Terran player on the bottom left took a little too much from the cookie jar in game four, but now having chosen Secret Spring, what can he do on this strange little map to try to get the lead again? Playing for Team Liquid, it is Bunny.
Alrighty. Secret Spring, man. I got thoughts about this map. Do you have thoughts about this map?
Oh, I got lots of thoughts about this map.
I want
All
to hear
these
your
doors
thoughts.
that can close and open again. The doors, of course, I'm referring to are these
Oh
rocks
god.
that, in fact, someone just clicked on. I think it's the Observer. Our
Yeah.
amazing Observer, Curran, making his voice heard with these dashed yellow circles because you'll never hear him anyway else.
Yeah, he is the voice inside our heads, guys. So if you ever hear us just say something really weird like, well, no, I don't actually have any ice cream in my fridge right now. We're probably talking in current TV. We're not going insane. Yes, I did eat all of my ice cream, Curran. Thank you. Not everyone has to know that I eat ice cream during the breaks, okay? God. God damn it, Curran. Oh, but huge shout out to Curran TV. Go follow him on at Curran TV over on Twitter. Give him a reason to keep observing StarCraft because there aren't enough amazing observers out there like Curran. So go give him some love, guys. It really does mean a lot when you send him tweets and go follow him. All right, so Droopy, I was saying that we have some thoughts. You talked about the structure box. I'm going to talk about the other thing on this map. That's the in-base natural expansion that we're not seeing
Yes.
TLO take.
Yeah, what's
Um,
that about, right?
okay, I think that this is brilliant, actually. Because here's the thing about this map is there's the in-base natural, and then your third expansion is really weird to take because it may seem like that down below your main base, there's that easy to take third expansion, but the problem is the ramp is actually pointing the wrong way for that to be an easy defense. The ramp points up. So it's this like the really weird curve that you have to run around. It's a huge pain in the butt to try and defend, especially against drop play. So what TLO is doing is he's saying, well, if I just take my farther away third expansion, I'm going to get my creep spread up much, much earlier. Yes. And he's going to have his queens up relatively soon as well. He's got to obviously defend against the Reaper and everything. But the Reaper may not even go into the natural expansion. And if Bunny doesn't see that the natural expansion wasn't taken, he's probably just going to assume that it was taken there.
Yeah, that could be interesting if, Bunny tries to make decisions on where to harass later on if he doesn't know that the natural's in fact outside. But these Reapers are still here, so they could potentially still end up going to the back. We'll see. They do try to snipe off a drone, and they will be able to do it. So it is 1 kill to his name. So, yeah, going back to the Reaper opening after last game, not working out too well for him.
Yeah.
Second drone
kill. I apologize for my very unprofessional laughing. Technotrans has posted like the weirdest GIF in the chat, and I can't help but laugh at it.
That is,
oh my God.
Yeah.
That is in fact a bunny munching. But will Bunny be able to munch on the knowledge of where the natural expansion is? He so far has not seen it. He's still using the Reapers to try and poke away, try and do what damage he can. He has another Reaper on the way as well, but he doesn't know yet. He doesn't know. Oh my God.
He doesn't know.
He's gonna miss the drone transfer too.
Oh, yeah, and TLO probably timing that, too. Like, okay, if those Reapers are there, I'd probably keep him in the base for a little bit longer, but now that he's free and clear. But, well, there's going to be some Hellions here now, and it's just going to be an old-fashioned run up the ramp, try to see what he can get.
He's going up or, sorry, no, never mind. I'm full of shit again. Yeah.
Or Queens? You're thinking?
I was thinking, I thought there was another Reaper production. I was just completely wrong about it though. Misreading it. Anyways, third Reaper is finally here. Should be able to clean up all these Zords. Does end up losing one of the Reapers though, but Bunny with some good control can keep those Hellions alive. Look at those Hellions sitting on the low health.
Yeah, those 2 red ones are a testament to the good micro of Bunny, and all those Lings die without taking out an additional unit. Like, that's not what you want to do as Zerg, is needlessly throw your units away when you really should be trying to macro up here.
Yeah. TLO, also, the third expansion has been revealed by the fact that there is that creep spread over there. The Queens are trying to walk their way over, but the drones, as you said, you never want to be in a position where you're pulling them to attack the Hellions by themselves. All of the drones get roasted.
Oh my gosh, that Bunny GIF is munching on drone parts. GG. And
oh my God, it's
every
a drone barbecue.
roasted in that. Yeah,
and I know where the drones go after the barbecue. Inside Bunny's stomach.
Nom nom nom.
Wow. So Bunny took that game. Bunny took that game pretty handily, actually. I'm trying to figure out, like, okay. He made a decent. He was making Reapers much later than you'd normally see a Terran player make. I think that extra Reaper definitely helped out a little bit with the early aggression, because he didn't just do what the Terran player will normally do. He didn't just say, I'm going to make 2 Reapers and then make my reactor, or I'm going to make 3 Reapers and then make my reactor. He said, I'm going to make 2 Reapers, I'm going to make my reactor for the factory, and then I'm going to swap off my reactor, and I'm going to make another Reaper, just for the additional firepower, just for the additional attack. And on top of the fact that TLO had that further away natural, so the Queens weren't there to help. You could see them, like, starting to inch on. They're trying to crawl off of creep over to the defend. It was just a little bit too late. It wasn't able to get a creep stride quite in time. So it was a nice idea, but it didn't really pay off in execution, I think.
Yeah, I mean, when you go for the kind of opener that TLO did, where you don't open Roach, because that's kind of what a lot of players do these days to deal with Hellions, you are relying on Speedlings, you are relying on additional Queens to help. And if you can't get all these things together to defend that initial harassment, it's kind of game over for you. So,
yeah,
that base being so far away, even if it wasn't seen by Bunny, I mean, the production is that much farther away. There's nothing you can do about that.
Exactly. And we're going to end up seeing this going to game number 6. We're finally at match point. Bunny, who I think a lot of people may have considered the favorite coming into the series, looking very, very strong. But TLO still got 2 wins on the board that Bunny kind of has to answer for. And it's still very much got the potential to bring this out to a game number 7. We've only got 2 maps in the map pool left also. So that's worth considering. Because one thing that you think about, we talk with players, and usually they'll think, I'm going to try and get the best maps I can earlier on in the series, right?
Mm-hmm.
There's no bans in a best of 7, really, right?
Nope.
You don't really get to like say, I don't want to play this map at all. So the players pick the maps that they wanted to, and now these are the maps that are left over that neither of the players really wanted to play. They're just like the maps, they're like the leftover, the slim pickings. And these are the maps that things can get kind of cool on. These are the maps that neither player really has a huge distinct advantage on.
Yeah, I mean, and it's funny too because I've casted a lot of Clan Wars where this is back when Foxtrot Labs was around, and when it got to game 7, everyone would just float the idea, hey, how about let's reset the map pool and let's not play on Foxtrot, and then everyone agrees. So I don't know if that's going to be allowed here, but there's no Foxtrot necessarily in this map pool either. So
there is no Foxtrot. Oh my god, the most brutal GIF I've seen. I think that's from Family Guy. Poor Bugs Bunny. I think that we got somebody who's on the Team Gravity account who's very much a TLO fan, hoping that Bunny gets crushed in this next game. Oh my god, that's brutal.
That's the manager of Team Gravity, Beast, who's on that account. I think
we're not even gonna say what the GIF is.
Yeah.
If you want to see the GIF, you just gotta come to the Hitbox channel and see it for yourself. There's no way to describe it.
Yeah.
Oh my.
There's a lot of symbolism in this GIF. And that's what you get to do if you are a subscriber, guys. So if you want to post
symbolism.
If you want to post these things,
make use of that English major.
Yeah, and it's 1,000 words in one picture. So that's how good can chat get when you can just post 1,000 words like that, right?
Not only that, because it's not just 1,000 words. I think we're underselling it here, Drippy. These aren't pictures. These are GIFs.
Oh, that's true.
Pictures.
That's
true. We got 1,000 words per frame. Okay. Boom. Boom.
Yes. It's over 9,000. Okay, we gotta stop now. We gotta stop.
All right. We're gonna save us. We're gonna go in and introduce the players as we spawn down here, the bottom right-hand corner of the map. We have the red Zerg player representing Team Liquid, sitting 1 game away from losing the series, but has the potential to bring this back. It is the little one.
And at the very top right-hand side, that is, in the vertical position, we do have the blue Terran, who is now in the lead once more. He is going to try to close things out here in match point and earn that $60 prize, leaving 20 for his teammate and laughing at him in the process. Well, that's what he hopes. It is Bunny. Now, this is Deadwing, right? Huge macro map, 4 bases all clustered together. What does that mean? What does that mean for these 2 players? Is TL still going to do really aggressive early timing pushes? Is Bunny going to try the 3CC again?
So, okay. If we do see some sort of aggressive play out of TLO, not just because the aggressive plays we've seen out of him mostly involve Nidus Worms, but because it's Deadwing, because it's such a big map, I wouldn't actually hate to see a Nidus Worm play come out if he does decide to go for the aggression. Should he go for the aggression? I guess that's a different question, though, right? It's a very easy map to defend those 3 bases. We talked about Secret Spring being a very difficult map to take that 3rd, but Deadwing is like the ideal situation. I mean, by defending your 3rd expansion, you're also defending your natural expansion against the Hellion run-bys and everything. That's the big difference between those 2 maps, these 2 maps that we're seeing right now. So I would honestly like to just see TLO try and play it out to a slightly later game. We've seen maybe even a little bit of resistance from him to play it out to the later game, besides that game number 2. But
Yeah.
I don't know. Unless there's some sort of specific discomfort he feels against like practice games he's played against Bunny, other games or like discussion that he's had with Bunny, maybe even just his own analysis of how good Bunny is in the late game, as I know he is, then I can kind of understand it. But I would like to see maybe a bit of a later game come out.
Yeah, and of the 2 wins, I'd say I was more impressed by the game 2 victory.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, because on Overgrowth, because
Mhm.
TLO is capable of it. That's clear. So, if that's something he can do, why not just push this to an ace match? We'll see, though.
Yeah, exactly. All right, well, Reaper coming in over here. We want to pretend like there's a gas guys are going down, but that will just be a drone that, manages to almost get the surround on the Reaper, but the Reaper still gets picked off as the drones mess with the AI, mess with the movement path, and TLO definitely going to be happy with that one. Trading a drone, it sucks to
Yep.
lose that drone, but if you kill off the Reaper, it is totally worth it.
Oh, yeah, you got peace of mind for the next few minutes. I mean, they spent 50 gas to kill one of your drones. Okay, congratulations on that. So now these lings are over here looking to deny anything happening on the low ground, but there's a couple Marines here to make sure that these lings can't get much done. But basically with this, TLO knows there's no more Reapers coming over. That's a sigh of relief I can hear from him.
You know what you do with a silent relief, that knowing that your opponent's not going to be able to scout you out for a while? You go for a very fast lair tech.
Oh, this is
gas guys
fast.
pump down. Lair tech is going to be finishing up by the 6-minute mark. And Droopy, what do you think? What do you think that Bunny is going to be doing?
Well,
What opening do you think he might be going for?
I do see a command center finishing.
Huh?
I don't think that's his natural.
Would you say that that would be a third command center he's finishing?
Yeah, counting it. So 1, 2, 3. Yeah. I'll say that. But losing this Overlord is not going to help. Although he's probably doing it just to scout. I mean, it's sacrificial, I suppose.
Is he gonna third? He should see the third CC. He does see the third CC.
Oh, and
Which
he's
at this point, yeah, he may have already like been assuming this at this point. But 2-base Spire play, TLO's looking to do some massive damage over here. Now there is still the potential for Bunny to scout this out. If he sees the gases of the natural expansion, that is going to be a big tell to say like, wait a second, you're not taking your third, and you have gas of the natural. He hasn't seen the gas of the natural yet, but I don't know. Bunny may just start making assumptions at this point.
He's coming back with the 2 Hellions. 3 now. He may poke in soon. But for now, that Spire is about to finish. No real anti-air coming out of Bunny right now. Oh, man. Oh, the Hellions are going to go and see.
Oh, yeah.
Drones being pulled.
Oh, he should be able to kill a decent number of drones over here, because TLO,
boy.
he was trying to go for the, no, I swear I'm not going for Mutals right now, build. He didn't make any spine callers, didn't do anything of the sort. Has a couple of Zerglings out now, but a lot of drones just got killed off. 12 drones, and double engineering bays are finishing up. Guess what Bunny's going to be building next? He's probably going to be building missile turrets.
Well, Bunny should be recognizing this now, because he goes in, you're on 2 base, you had your gases saturated, all you had were lings, you didn't have roaches out. You had to have spent that money on something. So it's mutas.
Yeah.
I mean, missile turret now popping up for Bunny. 4 mutas are about to be on the way here for TLO. And, well, one thing that TLO can do is, if he can't attack the mineral lines, see what he can get out of the production structures, supply depots, stuff like that. And it could be an interesting next few minutes.
Yep. Couple of Mutals making their way across the map. Only 2 of them right now on the other side of the map, or 3 of them going to be moving in. But the missile turret looks like it's going to be able to finish up over on top of the production facilities, and even the missile turrets and the mineral lines are both finished up. So Bunny just going to be ultra prepared for this.
And, well, we could be saying that cliche again. If this 2-base harassment from TLO doesn't do debilitating damage, the 3CC, well, yada, 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 right?
Yeah. 3 CC, man. Third expansion coming down very late for TLO. Now, this isn't a complete bust. I mean, obviously, it's a very unideal situation for TLO. He's falling much further behind than he wants to be. But 2 base Spire gives you something else. It gives you map control. You have unbelievable amounts of map control because the Terran player has to sit at home, not only using the Marines to defend back at home, but I mean, you can't really do a lot of Hellion harassing because the Mules just pick those guys off. So TLO has map control for a little bit. If he can try and exploit that, get a little bit greedy, he could still kind of try and even this out a bit.
I almost wonder if he should take a 4th base right now. Actually, just like strike
yeah.
while the iron's hot on that issue, because I mean, you know, you can fly around these units, do a lot of damage, which is good. He's
I
picking
love what
off
he's
these
doing right
Marines
now, yeah.
bit by bit. That's actually very nice. And he's going after some SCVs now, here and there. But
Oh my
okay,
god.
Bunny is countering, it looks like. So if he had taken a 4th, that'd probably not be good.
Bunny is unflinching right now in the vision of all of this Mules harassment that was happening. He was losing reinforcements. It was actually looking kind of scary, like there was a opening that TLO could have started abusing, picking off reactors and stuff. But he's just like, no, I'm gonna go kill you or do some deadly damage to you right now. I mean, you've invested in these Mules. What do you got? And there's nothing at this 3rd expansion. There's some Banelings on the way, but they're not here yet.
Oh, the 3rd's a goner, that's for sure. And these Mutas no way can engage this. Oh, wait, the 3rd, yeah, it's going to go down. Banelings, though, will they crash in? Good split from Bunny. Very nice, but the Banelings do clean up the bulk of the army.
Yeah.
But without them, I mean, 1-1 bio with medevac, with combat shield, no way those mutas could take that on. But the Banelings did come in good time, and that was a nice defense there from TLO, but now he might need to actually take a double expand.
Yeah, there is a bit of concern over here, though, because the Mules count is starting to build up pretty high. And even though these Marines have 1-1, I mean, the Marine count is fairly low. There's even a couple of Zerglings and Banelings moving in. I don't know if Bunny is actually... Oh, wait a second. Where did all the Mules go? Okay, there they are. And we're flying underneath the command center. I only saw 3 Mules for a second, so forgive me on that. I thought for a second, like, wait a second, were there like 5 Widow Mines hidden somewhere? Did they just kill all the Mules? No. Bunny's still in a lot of trouble right now.
Ooh, the Widow Mine
that's a good
shot in the
start, though.
face. But still not enough Marines just yet. Now they're basically rallying together, which will send these mutas away. But yeah, the map control is only going to get stronger for TLO here.
Oh,
He's now
supply
going to
depot's
start moving in.
lowered!
No, supply depots. Oh my gosh. Bunny
Oh,
ready for
man,
his life.
Zerglings-
Up a choke point. Bangling's still
Oh.
giving chase, but the split now is possible with the greater room in the main base. But are there enough Marines? Oh, that was a massive Widow Mine hit. Excellently done, luring everything into that. But is that going to be enough? These mutas are still around.
Yeah, Zergling's going to be trying to soak up as many hits for these Mules as possible. Mutals and Zerglings banding together, getting on top of the Terran production, and more Zerglings streaming in. He's going to be able to take out that wall and stopping Bunny from being able to halt any kind of additional reinforcements and streaming in. But the Mutals count has dwindled pretty heavily. These 1-1 upgrades for Bunny working out amazingly well for him. He's being able to take out so many of these Mutalists.
Oh man, in the meantime, those Zerglings going after that missile turret in the middle line. These Widow Mines, oh my gosh, a lot of friendly fire splash damage. I don't think it killed any SCVs, though, it just weakened a lot of them. But man, that was a
GG.
GG, TLO.
Bunny with the hold.
That was a good hold. The Widow Mines helped out so much. And well, that's that, guys. That's a 4-2 finish for Bunny. Excellently done. The Widow Mines really helped him out in the end. No question about that.
Oh my god. Widow Mines
Man.
and the upgrades and 3CC, man. Those 3CCs.
ACC.
But
Hashtag
really,
3CC.
really well done. Hashtag 3CC. Hashtag Year of Hearthstone. Hashtag Bly on Fire. Hashtag Liquid Fighting. Hashtag... TLO had a hashtag, right? He had a hashtag for a while. Was it
I don't
Year
know,
of
but-
Year of Liquid? I think that might have been one. Regardless, congratulations to Liquid Bunny on the
Yep.
4-2 victory over TLO.
$60 richer is him, and TLO doesn't go home empty-handed. He's got $20 as a consolation prize. But most importantly, thank you to all you viewers today for joining us here. You have a lot of options watching StarCraft on a Sunday afternoon or evening, wherever you are. But you chose us, and we thank you for it. If you did enjoy the casting here today, please follow us here on hitbox.tv/teamgravity, because we have this every single week, guys. and today was a blast. It's number 10, and we're looking forward to number 11 already.
Indeed. Guys, be sure to follow the channel over here on hitbox.tv/Team Gravity if you want to get more updates about more Team Gravity fight nights. I know that sometimes time shifts around a little bit. Sometimes it's at 3 p.m. Pacific, sometimes it's at noon Pacific, sometimes the TL calendar starts 30 minutes late. We promise we'll get that fixed next time. But the easiest way to know about when Team Gravity Fight Night starts is just to follow the channel and to follow it over here on Hitbox TV. You'll get the email notification. You'll get all the notifications you need to know when we're live. And of course, you'll get to hear the fantastic casting of Droopy as well as whoever his co-commentator is. Today, I was lucky enough to be the lucky commentator that got to cast with Droopy. So thank you so much, Droopy. And by the way, where can people catch you at, man?
Oh, well, you can always catch me at twitch.tv/RubyTown. That's where I do most of my Clan War casting. I'm the official caster for Team Gravity, so I cover all of our events for Clan Wars, for team leagues like SC2 ITL, as well as some other leagues in the StarCraft community. And yeah, it's always a pleasure. And don't forget about Fear Dragon either. Nice to finally have him back here. It's only third time? Your third time casting Fight Night this year?
Oh my god. This year it makes me a little bit sad. I know that some people might have noticed that there's the TL calendar event for the ESL SC2 NA Open that I'm normally casting. Today, I asked for permission to see if I could cast it a little bit later. I think that because we've had such fantastic games today, and almost everything went close to the ace match, I think that the ESL NA Open is almost over. So I don't even know if I'll be able to hop onto that bandwagon late. But regardless, very happy to be here. I'm so glad I actually took the time and came to cast for today's stuff, and it was a pleasure casting with you once again, Droopy. But you guys can catch me over at Fear Dragon 64 on all the social medias, and I want to give a huge shout out to 2 other people who make Team Gravity Fight Night an amazing production. Actually, 4 other people, a whole 4 other people, because you know we're like the front men, but there's a lot of other people who do most of the awesome work, the hard work. We basically just get to Droopy and I basically just get to like sit here and we're like, let's talk about StarCraft, right? Let's talk about something that we just love talking about.
Yeah.
And we just get to relax and do that. But really, we have the hardworking Current TV who shows you all of the awesome stuff. He does all the awesome camera work, the production, etc. I got the @1Cyber over on Twitter, as well as also one of the commentators for a lot of the Team Gravity Fight Nights, who does a lot of those player card intros, the videos that you see. As I know that the GIF that's been posted in the chat quite a bit as well. We also got Techno and Martin. Those are the other 2. From Team Gravity. You know what, Droopy, you are a member of Team Gravity. I know you can do the shoutouts for those 2. Very, probably better than I could.
They're a hard-working couple of dudes who have been putting this show match series together, man. So definitely a lot of credit goes to those guys. They don't get the FaceTime that we do, so we can't forget about them. And really, of course, a big thanks to Hitbox.tv as well for financing these show matches. Hope you guys have been enjoying a lot of the features of the stream and whatnot, and definitely stick around by following and make StarCraft on Hitbox a reality.
Yeah, guys, Hitbox is actually a great platform. If you've been watching over on the Hitbox channel, you'll have seen that there are actually some pretty awesome features here. There's some pretty awesome stuff. Especially, I love the polls, and I love that we can like talk about it and say like, oh man, look at this. 71.9% of people after Bunny is won think that Bunny is going to win. Like, that's actually some really cool stuff. So guys, do consider checking out Hitbox and browsing around the site if you do have an opportunity to, just because Hitbox is not only supporting Team Gravity Fight Night, but they're trying to make StarCraft on Hitbox happen. They're trying to support more StarCraft events, which is something that you guys should all be in favor of.
Absolutely. All right, guys, I hope you did enjoy this, and we'll look to see you next week. Hopefully, if you're Dragon will be with me once more, but if not, I've still worked with some great co-casters here, so if I'm here, that is. I don't even know, but we'll see. Just remember to follow, and you'll be apprised of what's coming next for Team Gravity Fight Night. But otherwise, again, thanks for watching.